So the first phase is, of course, the first touch, the first approach, the qualification step. And here your manager obviously cannot involve in all deals, and you don't want it either. So go through your pipeline and try to identify a handful of VIP deals that are instrumental in reaching your target by the end of Q4. Once you have this shortlist, speak very, very early and in full transparency with your manager about what's your closing strategy for the deal. Try to, for example, leverage their network, look for connections on LinkedIn. That's the most basic, of course, but try to also leverage their experience. If you know that your manager, your sales leaders have previous experience in a specific industry, in a specific vertical, it's maybe time to engage on what's the best way to push the value driver, to talk about the pain points on that industry for that specific client. There is also a small bonus here for those of you who are selling to other sales teams. Ask your manager to constantly send a connection request to the sales manager on the other side. That's a win-win situation. A sales manager is always happy to connect with a peer, and on the other side, you get an extra bond on your deal that will maybe get sponsorship later on. So we've arrived maybe after the first phase, after the first qualification, into the more technical aspect of the deal, the product demo, the technical Q&A. We're all used to that, but maybe not the newcomers. So I'm really talking here for those of you who recently joined a new company or were recently promoted to a new position, a new market segment, or a new territory. You might not be yet up to speed completely with the product knowledge and all you need to answer advanced, complex questions. So here, I would say it's completely fine to bring your managers. Exceptionally, when you feel like the discussion can be a little bit overwhelming, be transparent with the prospect is all I'm saying. Be transparent with the prospect so that they feel granted an extra specific attention from your management. The third part that I want to spend a bit more time on is actually the negotiation. Probably a lot of you are already involving your manager during the negotiation process in a sort of a role play. So let's say here we are like end of November, mid of December, it's the money time. The manager here should be, I think, used as a sparring partner. Again, for this handful of VIP deals, to actually challenge your strategy, to train your strategy, to run some rehearsal calls. The manager is not here to answer all in advance on your behalf, but the manager is here to ask the right questions that the prospect might ask, to anticipate a few things that you might not have thought of. And I think there is a second part of the negotiation that is always fun to have with individual contributors. It's basically the role play of either saying yes or saying no. It's quite important when you have to say no in negotiation, for example, about the price, about the terms and conditions, about a specific discount. When you must say no to your prospect, it's important sometimes that you let your manager do that, not because you're not able of doing that, just because your manager will always find the right words to justify that it's at a higher level of authority, that the negative answer came. And of course, it will relieve you from the burden of being the one who say no, right? There is another scenario where I think bringing your manager in the discussion is also very important. It's when you actually say yes. So when you give up to something in terms of discount, in terms of pricing, in terms of terms and conditions, again, or extra resources, don't only say yes. Use this occasion to show that you're actually fighting, that you are fighting with your management, with your leadership, with other departments in your company, like the finance team. No one likes the finance team, right? So you actually managed to get a discount to get free hand to offer the perfect deal to your prospect. And putting your manager in the conversation will actually answer what I call the internal sponsorship, the fact that you are doing a discount and it's legitimate that you do it because you actually fight for it. So as a conclusion, just to summarize what I said, try to identify the key deals that will make you successful and make a big difference by the end of the year. And go as fast as possible, as early as possible to your manager to actually try to make what would be your strategy and do some rehearsal calls. Then leverage your manager as a sparring partner to really challenge yourself and use your manager actively whenever you need on a role play, specifically during the negotiation, to have an extra impact. I think if you do that, if you attend this kind of panels like this, it really shows that you want to step up from the average, from the crowd. And I really think that managing properly the relationship with your management, with your leadership, into leveraging them for closing more deals is one of the key soft skills that will actually make you stand out from the rest. And I think we could also take this think about using the director level, maybe the management, the leadership, not only about the sales, but also on other departments in your company. And I think Alex White, after me, will talk more about that in details.